And we are once again in a new recording session for Calibur VI. Before we get into the ongoing Libra of Souls playthrough with our main character Rhea, I wanted to do something to sort of switch up the content focus for my coverage of this game, something I haven't really done yet, and that's to actually take a look at some of the characters and go through some of their gameplay mechanics and talk a little bit about them. And specifically what I want to focus on for this are the newer characters and the DLC that have come out since the game's release. I didn't get a chance to do this for 2B, and I think I'll have to go back and do one of these lab videos with her since I haven't really played with this character much. But recently, the latest DLC character to come out is Amy. And I remember playing as Amy in Calibur IV. I think she was introduced in 3, and her story mode was fleshed out a bit more, and her character was sort of built upon in 4, and that's where I played her. I seem to recall liking her moveset a bit more than Raphael's. She uses a similar type of fencing style that he uses with a rapier. But I haven't touched this character since that game, and I haven't got a chance to really tinker around with her moveset since the DLC release. So what I'd like to do is just spend some time looking at her normal moves and her special moves and get kind of a feel for how they've set up Amy in this game. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do that.
Amy. Pain makes people talk.
And we'll pick a random target for training purposes. And we'll be practicing against Taki for this particular session. Now, Amy, she is a smaller stature character. She's relatively short compared to a lot of the cast, looks like. Her overall movement speed is pretty decent. She's fairly quick on her feet. So what I'll do is take a look at her standing normals, and then her 8-way run normals, and then I'll go into her simultaneous button presses. And what I'll probably do is toggle back and forth between just messing around with the inputs and the actual move list so we can take a look at her moveset. So her standing, horizontal, or A, or you still refer to these as A, B, C, or horizontal, vertical, kick. Her standing horizontal is a simple forward slash, decent range, high hit, 8 damage. Standing vertical, pretty standard. Upward slice, mid, 10 damage. Standing kick, high side kick, 10 damage. Her up and down 8-way run moves. 8-way run up. Horizontal is a leaping forward slash. That hits what, mid? Yep. It's got a bit of a delay on it too. It doesn't come out necessarily that fast, so it seems like it'd be good for messing up people's rhythm. 8-way run vertical. Lifting uppercut. Serves as launcher. Seems like you can combo against a wall pretty good with that. Don't know how easy it would be to follow up a juggle if the opponent's not against the wall. 8-way run up. Kick is a jumping side kick. High, 21 damage. Pretty fast. Let's see. Diagonal 8-way run. Horizontal is a spinning slash. Diagonal 8-way run B is an overhead chop. Middle. Middle hit, 17 damage. And her diagonal 8-rate run kick is a flying knee. It's a pretty fast attack. Note the 8-weight run moves also work with just forward and double forward inputs too. So forward, horizontal is the spin, forward B is the chop, forward C or kick is the flying knee. Let's see. Down and back 8-way run, horizontal is a different kind of spinning slash. Yeah. Slightly different spinning slash that hits middle 14. Down diagonal, back 8-way run, vertical is a step back thrust. Reminds me of Sophidia's thrust attack a little bit. Hits middle for 33. Down diagonal 8-way run kick is a spin kick. What was that? Outside crescent? And that's a launch. Seems like there'd be good combo potential to follow up after that. Let's see. Let's go with some of the simultaneous button presses. Standing, horizontal, vertical, standing A, B at the same time. That is charged attack. That can, a break attack can break someone's guard. Let's see. 8-way run, AB is a lunging lift that goes middle and pops the enemy up behind her. Let's see, is there a diagonal? Oh. Diagonal AB, same thing. Back AB is a jumping attack and can be followed up with another horizontal for a low attack. I think Raphael's got something similar. Let's see. Horizontal, vertical and kick, BK. Same time, that looks like a parry, guard impact.
Enjoy.
She's got a mechanic that I haven't really researched that involves these roses. If I hit forward BK, she tosses a rose out. Down BK, looks like a low parry.
Here.
Back BK tosses a rose kind of over her head at her feet. Back BK. Let's see. Moving back BK is this low poke. It still hits middle for 30 damage. Look at her throws.
So predictable.
That's her reversal edge. Standing forward throw. Back throw.
To dance.
Side throw.
Hit it.
Side throw again.
Hit it.
Jump getting behind her.
Hit it.
Let's see, she have A and K. I guess the kick button's designated as K, not C. That's my mistake. Horizontal and kick at the same time. I don't know what that is. It looks like a taunt. We'll have to go into the move list to see what that move specifically does. It's either a taunt or it's a parry. And you can chain it. Hitting a direction
It's time to end this.
gives it a different color. We'll have to check the move list for what changes in her soul charge state.
Damn it!
I guess what we could do now is just go through the move list and see what I missed. Graceful Cutter, back A. Triple Bada in tempo, forward BBB. Okay, didn't do that one. Looks like that's a 3-hit combo. High, high, mid. Falcon's Stride. Oh, this is spin. Young Wyvern, Amaryllis. Spin, forward AA, forward. Oh, so she has a special stance state where she can follow up and probably do other things out of that. Yep. That spin she does afterwards. She can combo other attacks out of it. So I guess we'll see in the move list if she has the ability to enter in that spin state from a neutral, or she always follows it up after. That's interesting. Kind of forgot that about that character. Amaryllis Fling. AG or back AG. It's a throw input. Ah. So in addition to attacks when she enters into that spin state, she can follow up with a throw input too. If we hit forward.
This is it. That hurt.
Forward, AA, forward.
This is it. That hurt.
That's how we get that skewer. And I guess it's going to kind of depend on her range. If she's out of range, she won't connect with the throw.
This is it. That hurt.
Raphael has the exact same throw animation. Shark Tooth. During Mellow Parry K.
Low. Low.
And we haven't gotten the input for Mellow Parry yet. Rouge Signette. Forward BK. That's the Rose. Increases Red Rose perception by 1 if Rose hits. Aim for opening after a missed attack. I'm assuming that's a buff state that she enters into. Basically, what it's saying is you would throw the Rose when you have an opening, and it increases her perception.
Take this. Here. Here.
I guess we'll have to look and see what that specifically means. Evidence Rouge. When Rose perception at max. Quarter circle back A. Jumping low. Normally, she doesn't have that move.
Take this. Take this. Enjoy.
Okay, that little flash around her face must have signified Rose perception level up. And it doesn't go away either. That's interesting. Evidence Blanche. I'm assuming these are all French words. I do not speak French. Same input, but with B.
Too slow. Too slow.
That's a rising launcher and a follow-up. These are basic combo inputs. Guess I can go to the... We'll do horizontals first. The main one is... The main tab is kind of an overview. We could take a look at what her moves are. Button specific, so these are the A attacks, horizontal. AAA, Pretty simple, standard 3-hit combo. It's interesting that says you can cancel first hit with G. Does that mean cancel the rest of the string, or cancel the actual animation? Oh. Oh, you could fake out with that. Normally that's what it looks like, but if you hit G before her sword comes out, you can fake out and cancel the attack. And you can do it with B too. Oh, interesting. I don't know if any of the other characters can do that. Laurier Rouge. AAA. Rose Perceptions at max. I see. So her standard combos change if her Rose Perception is higher. Okay. Flash Needle. A plus B. Warrior Wolfsbane AK. Hilt Strike. Young Wyvern. This is the spin follow-up. Agile Wyvern. Hold A. Does it give you 2 hits automatically? Yep. Held input. 2 hits. Looks like you can hit different directions after most of her attacks. To get that Amaryllis spin that allows for follow-up. Interesting. And singing it Ardent? Oh, it results in a rose hit afterwards? Forward AB?
Good luck. Good luck.
Or forward A then B?
Take this.
Yeah, forward A then B.
Take this.
I wonder what the significance is with the blue roses versus the red ones, though. Oh, white rose perception. She has multiple rose perception types. Red and white. Oof. Let's see. Airblade. Down diagonal forward. Swirling Talon. Oh, I didn't do any of her down ducking inputs. This one looks like a low hit right in the ankles or the knee. Heel cutter. Even lower. Heel cutter, mellow parry. Okay, mellow parry is that parry state that she enters into there. And you get to that one from this move by holding diagonal back A. Okay. And as we saw previously, she has moves out of that mellow parry state too. Graceful Cutter. Okay. Graceful Rouge. Back AA. With Rose Perception at max. Heavy Mandriti. Back forward A. I don't see a lot of back forward input moves in the Soul Calibur cast. That one looks like it spins sideways, so I'm assuming that functions as a sidestep. We saw this one already. It's a low hit. Twirling Talon, wall ducking. Hits low. Frigid Stramazone. While crouching diagonal forward AA. Petite Wyvern. Her rising attack hits high. The buttons on the right coded are for high, medium, low, or special high, medium, low, I think that is. Low attack, all fair. Low turn attack, all fair. When facing away, A. So, turning attack, sky, bolt. French words, during jump, A. Okay, so quick chop. I think rather than go through each specific attack, I'll look at the specials here. Let's see. I'll look at the specials and then the gauge moves. If I go through each input, this is going to be an hour-long video. Let's see. Oh, Amaryllis Spin does have a natural state, just like Sophidia's. You can enter into it by doing a quarter circle forward, or hitting a direction out of certain attacks. It's good to know. And her Amaryllis Spin changes when her Rose Perception is maxed out. So this is the A, this is B, and that's the K. Interesting. I see that being potentially pretty difficult to get that status while fighting somebody. Basically, you have to land a bunch of Rose hits or combo into them. Alright. These are the moves that I just did. Lilith parry. Instead of following up in the chop, you can hold B for a parry at the end. Amaryllis Spiral. Yep, it's the kick one. Oh, you can follow up with kick B. And it hits with a white rose. Blanc. White Rose Perception at max, kick BBB. Kick BB.
So weak. Enjoy. So weak.
Frigid Moon. Double kick. Fang Snyet. And results in a follow-up. Follow up with the rose hit at the end. I guess part of her main core mechanics with the rose buffs are either finding openings to toss the roses or chaining attacks that result in a rose follow-up. Rouge Vexation, Amaryllis Spinning with Red Rose, Perception at max.
Let's finish this. Let's finish this.
That's interesting. Seen this one. This is the throw input. Wolf parry is that one. Mellow parry. Oh. Okay, alright. That's how you enter that state. Biondetta parry. High.
High. Middle. High. Here. High. Middle.
Alright. So her different parry states have different follow-ups afterwards. In addition to entering into a parry state that can guard impact, she follows up differently depending on what button you hit out of them. It seems like she has a lot of mix-up potential. Okay. Lilith parry with White Rose Perception at max.
Middle. Middle. Middle.
A hold. Okay, so she can do those moves into other parry states. That's interesting. So she can enter into her mid parry state and their high parry state. Oh, that seems like that'd be really unpredictable if you do that correctly.
Middle.
Unblockable during Lilith parry AB. Arctic Dance, Lilith parry AK. Kick, or slash and then mid kick.
Middle.
Yeah, these are all the follow-ups out of her parry stances.
Middle.
That's a break attack
Middle.
at White Rose Perception max. Frigid Thrust, Lilith parry, guard impact versus middle attacks. Oh, you could just chain it back into itself?
Middle. Middle.
Yep, you can indeed chain that back into itself. And you can do it over and over again too if you get the move input correct. Frozen Violet. And that puts her back to the opponent too. High kick. Okay, high, low, and mid parry states. That's interesting. Basically, all of these are follow-ups out of those different states. What we'll do is we'll go on to the gauge attacks, and then I'll look at her supers. This is her super, or critical edge. Look at that one, Alea Rouge.
Time for bed. Sleep eternally. Had enough.
Pretty standard.
Time for bed.
I wonder if that hits. Oh, it hits mid. Okay. Oh. Forward ABK, White Rose Perception at max. Restore guard stamina, increase damage. This is an alternate super, but it only works if her Rose Perception is at max for white.
Time for bed.
And now it's white instead of red.
Had enough.
And restores guard stamina. That's interesting. I don't know if there's any other characters that have supers or critical edges that do that. Rose Mystique. If you have both color roses at max, it increases soul gauge, restores guard stamina, reduces opponent's soul gauge. Jesus. Wow. But I imagine that'd be really difficult to do. Land all the roses.
Take this. Enjoy. Take this. Here. Take this. Take this. Here. Enjoy. Enjoy. Take this. Take this. Middle.
Okay,
Middle.
let's see what it looks like.
Time for bed.
And now it's purple.
Sleep eternally.
Looks like the overall animation doesn't really change. She gets different color effects and the positive buffs, depending on which level of super she's doing, changes. Interesting. Look at her soul charge attacks I mentioned earlier and see what those do. Rose de Rage. AAA with soul charge and red rose perception max. Okay. Rose Diabolique. Low, special mid. High, high. And chasse? Forward B, B, B. Oh, is that Little Rose again? Yep. Looks like she has some standard forward or standing multi-button hit strings when she's in Soul Charge mode. That's good to know. Soul Charge, White Rose Perception at max. Rose de Lumiere.
Too slow. Withdraw.
Ooh.
Too slow. Withdraw.
Rose Vide.
Useless.
What is that? Oh, that's only during Reversal Edge while Soul Charged. That's interesting. Shifts to clash upon hit. Volden. Wait. Alright, so her Amaryllis spin follow-ups also change when she's Soul Charged.
Enjoy.
KAD. Rosa de la Gloire? Well, my apologies if anybody speaks French. I'm probably butchering these pretty badly. That one... Oh, okay. Wow, that's a lot of hits. AB with Soul Charge and Max Rose, Red Rose Perception.
Take this. Unfortunately, it's time to end this. Perfect.
Wow. That's pretty decent damage for just one input, but I guess the setup is what makes that challenging. Fleur de Emphase.
Here's a gift.
Oh, her throws get a rose toss when she's Soul Charged. Huh. Move parry while Soul Charged AB. Double parry. Alright, so all of her parry follow-ups. Looks like a bunch of them change when she gets Soul Charged.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, these are all the same.
Low.
Okay, so her AB out of all the different parry states become that, right? And then reversal edge techniques. Overall, Amy's a pretty complicated character. I didn't realize that she had special stance states like her Amaryllis spin on top of her parry states. That's very interesting. And you throw the rose mechanics on top of that, red and white, which I'm pretty sure she didn't have in the older games. From what I've read online, people talking, her real damage comes from getting into that powered up state. But I imagine that's difficult when you're fighting someone and you're trying to get all of the different levels of buff while chaining her attacks. And outside of that, she has a lot of different moves that mix up. And then if you also throw in the fact that she has some guard cancel moves, seems like the character is probably close to on par with Xianghua when it comes to being able to confuse the opponents with different attacks that look similar. I'm just trying to see if... Yep, you can guard cancel and move. As long as the attack hasn't come out too fast, you can fake out the enemy and move. That's very interesting. But that serves as a real quick and dirty kind of introduction to Amy, her playstyle and her moves. This is not really meant to be a super comprehensive strategy guide because I'm not experienced with the character, but I think what I'd like to do for future DLC characters, and probably for past ones like 2B, I'd like to go in here into the lab and just sort of tinker around and see. So, probably plan on doing that at some point in the future.